the difference here is,
Yeah.
you rolling?
And we're rolling.
This is Mike Schwartz, SWARTZ. Mike, at the beginning of the season, the bonus points, obviously you couldn't have been thinking much about that as just trying to put yourself in position each week to do well. Sort of give a little bit of your philosophy about playing for the extra kind of incentive.
Well, I think to do well in the points race, you've got to make a lot of cuts, and so I really try and concentrate each week on preparing really hard so I'm ready to play on Thursday, so I get off to a good start each week. And after that, I just try and play real good Thursday and Friday. If I'm in contention to win, then really go after it on the weekend.
Is it sort of, I guess, winning the tournament is the number one goal? So the focus is on just playing well, or is there any focus on the points race? Has there been? You led it a good period of time.
Yeah, there's a focus on the points race, but your number one objective is to win the golf tournament each week. So that's what you're preparing and trying to do. It's the points race is kind of an afterthought. It's something that's in the back of your mind, but it's something you look at, I think, after the tournament's over and see how you stand with the other guys.
What about any kind of pressure associated with? You led this points
Lee,
race.
hold up a second.
Okay. Talk about the points race in terms of when you were leading the race and the pressure associated with, having somebody jack right behind you and all that. A real kind of pressure, or just another day at work?
Well, I've always looked at the points race as being something that helps motivate you. It's really not any pressure. It's something that keeps you going. It keeps you focused throughout the year. I think that's the main plus of the points race. When you've got guys right behind you, all you can do is go out and try and play your best. If they play better than you and pass you, there's nothing you can do about that. So what I try and do is just go out and really play good golf.
In this tour being the kind that's a developmental tour, trying to get you ready for something, it adds something else to the pressure. And isn't all that what this level of golf is about, is putting you under all kinds of stress and all kinds of pressure?
Yeah, I think the more situations you can get in, the better you're going to be. The more pressure you're under, it's just going to help you prepare for future experiences, and hopefully when you get in that situation, you're going to be more prepared.
Naturally, Fresh Foods is putting up $250,000, a lot of money. Your thoughts about bonus programs in general?
Well, it's fantastic. For the players, it's something that it's not necessary. They don't have to do it, but it's something I think the players all appreciate. It gives us some extra money. It gives us something to play for. It gives you something to stay motivated for, and it's really been a fantastic program for us.
At a point in time, and this show's going to air in a few weeks, so everything will be moot when people see this show. So bear that in mind. At this point in time, Jack is 187, and I think David Schreier said a third points or whatever it is. He said, in effect, 188 points. Almost insurmountable, but still the glimmer is there, and so there's no let up, right?
Well, I'm the only one that has a chance, so I'm going to try and really make something happen this week, try and have a fantastic tournament, and continue the points race towards Atlanta, and hopefully I'll still have a shot when we get there.
Tell me about being locked in with your best friend.
Well, it's something we've talked about, and something we tried to do a long time ago was finish 1-2, and now it's become a realization, and we're both really happy with the way it's turned out. It's been a lot of fun for both of us, and I'm just, I couldn't be happier, really.
But at the same time, maybe there is a way you could have been happier if you had a 188-point lead.
Yeah, I'd like to have been on top, but Jack's just had a fantastic season. I don't think anybody's even come close to playing as well as he has out here. And really, he deserves to be in the position he is. I've played well myself, but really not quite as well as he's played, so probably number 2 is where I should be at.
The bottom line is getting to the PGA Tour.
Yeah, the Tour qualifying is coming up soon, and I think all the players are starting to get their games ready for that and looking forward to that to try and advance to the next level.
Just any thoughts on the season that you have about the kind of year? Did you meet expectations? How short have you come on the kind of season you've wanted?
This has been a fantastic year for me. I've played better golf this year than I ever have before. The only shortcoming I've had is I haven't won a golf tournament yet, and if I can do that in one of these last two tournaments, I think I've had a great season for me.
Okay, any thoughts about this tour and its ability to prepare players?
This is a great situation for guys. They've got an opportunity to play week in and week out and improve their games. And if it wasn't for this golf tour, I don't know where guys would be. And couldn't be more thankful to the Bob Brooks and the people at Hooters.
Good. Thank you, pal.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. David, at the beginning of the year, obviously, if you made up a list of players, David Schreier would be one of those guys that you said is going to have a legitimate shot at winning the bonus points race. You come into the season, though, you came in off injuries. You came in with a lot of questions in your mind. You found a good sports psychologist. You found a good doctor and everything. So you prepared as well as you could. Give us an idea, sitting here, how you feel about your season in terms of goals accomplished and coming off of some of the problems that you're trying to overcome.
Oh, geez, I can't be happier with my season. I played well. A little disappointing here at the end of the season because I was in the running for the 100,000 up until about 3 weeks ago. But I've played well. I can't be any happier about the way I've played and built a lot of confidence up for tour school. I'm ready for that. Try to see if I can advance my career.
Physically and mentally, you are
real strong. Physically, I've been in the gym all year and rebuilt my elbow, and I'm real proud of that. Take the injury that I had, which is pretty much a 50-50 chance whether I was going to play golf again, and be back as strong as I am this quick. It was real exciting. I'm real hard on myself, so I'm disappointed right now not being in the top two or a chance within the next two tournaments. But I got to refocus, and I'm sitting trying to hit the third spot now, and there's about 5 or 6 of us that have a chance to get the third spot on the points list, and so I just refocus and start going right back at it again and see if I can't align myself right behind Mike or Jack.
That race for third place now is really taken on a real meaning, and it's almost like a stock car race. Say, okay, maybe they've decided that first spot, but there's still dollars involved. There's still pride involved. There's still pressure involved. Will you do a dual focus, or you just say, hey, my whole focus is win the golf tournament. All that other stuff will take care of itself?
Oh yeah, you don't go out and try to think about the bonus points. If you do, I think I got a little into that last month or so, and it's cost me. Playing well, but making a lot of pars, and out here pars get you a ticket home after 2 rounds. So I'm gonna go out in the last 2 tournaments. This week I've played well here in the past, and I'm gonna go out and give it as best I got. Next week I'm back home, and I've already won on this golf course, and that's exciting to me. I'm just gonna play as hard as I can and give it all I got, and try not to give up, and see how I finish at the end of the week.
A year ago or so, David, there was a question whether or not you'd play competitively again, and I don't want to overdo that or oversimplify that. People that went through what you've gone through, and then to win early in the year at Atlanta, then to put yourself in position to be one of the top players on this tour, has to build confidence, doesn't it, as you head to Q School?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was told last year when he cut into my elbow that good chance I wasn't going to play competitively again, and I made a decision that I was going to go 100%. I went 10 months into rehab and rebuilt my elbow, and come back end of last year with 5 events, and kept my card in 5 events and finished second in one of them. Gave me a lot of enthusiasm for the next year and excitement, and I waited till this year. I worked really hard over the winter, and South African played well over there. Came back here, and I knew I was on the verge of winning, and it was just a matter of time. I was going to go out and play, 1 week at a time, and I knew I was going to have at least 1 win this year. I was hoping for 2, but I was close a couple times this year, a couple top 3 or 4s this year, and so I'm excited. I'm ready for tour school. I'm ready to see what 96 has in store for me.
I think that's the big thing about you. You're so competitive, and you want to play at such a level. I think people don't really understand, if they know you at all, they would, but if they don't know you very well, how competitive and how the fire burns within you. I don't think anybody's more competitive than you. How hard are you on yourself?
Too hard. Well, I grew up with a sister that beat me like a dog when I was a little boy in everything we did. I mean, baseball, football, everything. She was the best in the city. And basketball, I mean, and I was always striving to beat her. And I never could. And as I was growing up and as I've gotten older, we don't compete as much anymore because we're not even at the same type of level. Women and men play the game a little differently. But I guess that's why I'm so competitive. She was always my best friend growing up, but she always pushed me along to be better, and told me I had to work hard to be better, because she wanted me to be the best and I wanted her to be the best. So I guess that's why I'm so competitive. I'm as cutthroat out here as anybody. I'm gonna go at you and give it all I got to beat whoever it is and whatever it has to take. So.
Do bonus programs bring some of that out? I mean, is that an extra thing? I know winning and wanting to beat everybody in the field, but adding another thing for David Schreier to get competitive about, it seems like the Naturally Fresh bonus race is just something else to fire your competitive instinct, right?
Oh, definitely. When you're looking at $100,000, I don't think anybody would sneeze at that. I think a lot of these guys are as competitive as they may not show it as much as I do, but I wear my emotions on my sleeves most of the time anyway, so whether I'm high or low anyway. So it's yeah, definitely. This is what it's all about. Making a living at this game at any level. We're all gonna go out and do the best we can for that.
Any thoughts on the season individually? We've talked to you about that. Any thoughts that come to your mind as you try to sum up? After 23, 24 events, what's sort of the bottom line for David Schreier? Yeah, and that's probably a tough question, but you say, I accomplished 85% of what I wanted to, 95% of what I wanted to, I'm back, I'm strong, I'm better than ever. Where's the bottom line?
Just the strength, being able to play again competitively. That's the most thing I'm proud of right now, is being able to play competitive golf again and having fun again. I haven't had fun for 2 or 3 years due to my elbow, and I always wondered if it was my elbow or if I was, just didn't have it anymore. And when they fixed the elbow, my game came right back, and week in and week out I was right back in there, and that's exciting to me. I think that's the most thing I tried to accomplish this year, is to get my game ready for tour school and maybe win a tournament or this or that. I knew I had it in me, and I went out and proved that to myself. I didn't have to prove it to anybody else. I proved it to myself, and that's the most important thing to me.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Roland? Okay, us, Jack O'Keefe. We're doing this with the idea in mind that the season's over, so that's pretty hard to do. Comment about, at the beginning of the season, give me an idea, 1, 2, 3, your goals.
First goal is, to win a couple tournaments, 2 or 3. Second goal, to kind of be up there on the money list, and the third goal to kind of be up there on the points list. I mean, it kind of all goes hand in hand, but those are the 3 things. The main thing, wanting to win, wanting to get in position to win. And then, with 6 or 7 tournaments left, I wanted to just have a chance to maybe win the money title and win the points title. So, those are the 3 big things. And, it's worked out fairly well so far, but it's not done.
Okay, as I say, we're doing this actually before the end of the season, so it's a moot point. Jack, was it realistic for you to think that you could do as well as you've done? I mean, let's face it, last year Jack O'Keefe didn't set the world on fire last year. I know you have a quiet kind of confidence, but realistically, did you think, I can go to Australia, play well, I can come back here, play well, not go to Q school? You seem to sort of have a map, but where did that come from? Confidence in your game, confidence in knowing what kind of competition? Or was it pretty realistic to think in terms of those goals?
Yeah, I mean, I played pretty good out here last year. I was consistent. I wasn't, real high finishes and stuff, but I made a lot of cuts. And then I went to Australia, and I made 9 cuts in a row there. And it just kind of seemed like it stepped my game up a notch. And then, I'd been playing all winter long tournament golf against good competition, and then I just started back out here. And I was just kind of ready to go from the start.
Tell me, if you have done what you wanted to do, Q School is next. Trying to get to the next level, whether it's a Nike or the PGA Tour. How realistic is it now for you to think, I'm ready now for that next level?
Oh, I think by playing well out here, I've gotten in contention quite a few times. I probably should have won a few more times, but that just comes with the territory. But I think if you can play well out here and win and compete, I've played in one Nike event and I finished like 21st or something. So those guys, up at the top, they're probably a little bit better than some of the players out here, but there's just a real small difference in the players out here and the guys on the PGA Tour. I mean, it's a chip shot, going in the hole, or it's an up and down, here and there. I mean, Peter Jacobsen improved his scoring average by like one stroke a round, or one shot for the whole week, and he's won 2 or 3 tournaments. So it's good to be in contention all the time and be a dominant player out here. It gives me the confidence to hopefully go to the next level, whether it be the Nike or the PGA.
You commented on the caliber of competition out here. Top 20 guys, top 30 guys. You always try to play well, but it seemed like a Kyle Flinton, or it seemed like a Rob Bolt who's had experience, or it seemed like somebody else that had never won. All of a sudden, O'Keefe was a factor until Saturday or Sunday. So you found plenty of competition, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been interesting the last 3 or 4 weeks where after 2 days, somebody's been 12, 10, 9 under par, and then last week 14 under par, and I think 14 or 15 won. So, after 2 rounds, you don't know what's going to win, but you have a pretty good idea. And then the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been different. I thought 18 or 20 under would win last week, and 14 under won, and the weeks before that, it just shows that you just have to keep plugging away and doing your best and do it one shot at a time. So it's been an interesting year out here the last few weeks.
Jack, you're sort of a quiet kind of person, a nice guy, image and all that, but I know inside you, I've seen a little more frustration out of you the last few weeks. It's like, come on, Jack. I've seen you, I don't want to say demonstrate a little bit differently. You seem to be a little more frustrated with yourself the last few weeks. It's like, I'm not hitting the shots I want to hit, not making the putts I want to make in those situations, and I'm upset about that. Not so much about the money, not about the points. Have I been seeing what's going on inside you?
I've hit, I haven't played as well as I've liked to have played, and, it's just it's kind of gotten to me a little bit. But last week I played okay, but nothing great, and I'm trying to get back to where I was before, just not let it affect me. And the last couple weeks, last week I thought about the points a little more than previously, and you got to try and block it out, but it's difficult. I played with Andrew last week, and I said, hey, I kind of know how you felt last year, but there's still a long way to go. We've got 2 tournaments to go, so I've just got to try and keep playing my game and stay focused. I think my concentration and focus has been off a little bit the last few weeks, so I just have to get back on that and just hit golf shots and then add them up when we get done.
The birthday falling in here, I know with some things with you personally and everything that you've been dealing with a lot of things, and it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to be the worst, and it's hard to be one of the best.
Sure. A lot of people think you got it made playing golf all the time and traveling here and there, but there's some little things on and off the course that affect and get to you, and you have to block them out, but it's tough, and I just got to try and go out there and do my job and play the best I can and just see what happens. So it's tough, but I'm going to try and just keep doing what I've been doing, work hard and concentrate.
How much in your future career will you reflect on this experience the last 2 years? No matter what happens to you, the good, bad, the indifferent, how much will you reflect back and think of 94, 95?
Well, I think back in '87 when I really started to become a pretty good golfer, I won a tournament every year, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and then last year I didn't win any tournaments. So I kind of wanted to get back on that sphere again of winning tournaments, and I've won 2 this year, but it's only end of September. There's still a lot of golf tournaments left, and there's nothing better than winning. And this year out here, I've gotten myself in contention a lot, and that's what I've wanted to do. And I've won twice, but I still think I can do a little bit better. But it's been a great year. I've learned a lot, and you know, you have to deal with a few different things when you're up there all the time, and it's made me a better person and a stronger person. So it's been a fun year, and something I'll always reflect back on, whether I make it, you know, to the next step.
When I think about you and I think about a guy that it's disarming to be around you and for the guys because they get in there and all of a sudden O'Keefe passes them. Your demeanor, that's just how you've always been, sort of quietly going about your business and not very demonstrative.
Right. You know, I felt, you know, whether it was baseball or basketball or now golf, you know, I felt I could play a little bit, but, you know, there's no need in being real flashy and all that. I've just kind of worked hard and just kind of done what I, you know how to do, and just kind of let it take care of itself. Kind of let, you know, your golf clubs do the talking. And, you know, I mean, I respect all the other players out here. You don't want to try and, you know, be a bad person by shoving it in their face all the time or whatever. So I just try and play my game and let the score and let the golf clubs do the talking. And, you know, it's nice to get respect from your peers. And, you know, I respect other players when they play well.
Isn't it ironic that it's you and Mike that were in the heat of the battle? Here's two guys that pull for each other. If Mike was in competition with anybody else and was trailing by 187 points at this particular time, you'd have all kinds of thoughts and scenarios going through your mind as to how Mike could overcome that.
Right.
Now, if he overcomes it, that means that you have to fail.
Right.
So, and you don't want to fail,
Right.
and it's like, Mike, I'm sorry. Second place is not so bad.
Well, you know, at the start of the year, we both kind of were working toward getting in this position, and you know, now it's come down to that. But you know, he's out there trying his best, and I'm out there trying my best, and you know, whatever happens, happens. I mean, you know, I'm not going to wish bad things against him. I'm going to go out there and play golf, and you know, hopefully my score will beat his or whatever. You know, be good enough. So. You know, if he goes out there and wins this week and wins next week, you know, more power to him. And if I go out there and win this week or next week or both or whatever, then hey, you know. So it's an interesting situation, but there hasn't been anything going on that isn't normal. You know, we still talk about this and that. We really haven't talked about the points much at all year. So you know, now we're just, you know, we've got our own things we're thinking about, and we're just trying to let the golf and the situation take care of itself.
He told me, I hope at least this goes to Atlanta. Would you just like to close the door in Gainesville?
Sure. I mean, obviously, you know, if I get up
The heck
by
with you, Mike. This is how I feel.
If I can get up by 204.01 points, then you know, Atlanta will be a great time. But if not, then you know, it'll be another stressful week. But you know, that's just part of it. I mean, I'm sure the TV and Mr. Brooks and the people with the tour want it to come down to the last week, but coming from my shoes, you know, the sooner the better. I mean, if next week gets canceled or something like that, you know, so be it. But no, it's been a fun situation, and I remember a couple months ago I was like 150 points behind, and you know, I didn't know if I could make it up, and I played well in 3 or 4 events, and Mike played okay, and it just kind of went down to that. So with only 2 events to go, it's you know, it's not over by any means because of last year and everything. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen. So, you know, I'm just going to go out there and do my best and try and take care of it. And, you know, whatever he does, he does.
Good. Thank you, pal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. The disparity between 3rd and 7th or 8th is pretty great in the points race. Do you think about that at all now, Dean, or is it something on Sunday you say, okay, let's see where so-and-so finished, where so-and-so finished, where I finished, and all that?
Yeah, you know, definitely you think about it, you know, before and maybe after the tournament, checking on where you are. I think once you're out on the golf course, you're pretty much just trying to do your job. And but it's definitely, you know, I spoke to Jack last week, and him and Swartzy are going for the first place check, and he said he was pretty nervous last week out on the course. So, you know, it comes into play when the guys are out there grinding. It definitely sits in the back of your mind. And, you know, I think there's 4 of us that are going for 3rd place, which is $15,000. And I think if you finish, you know, anywhere from 3rd to 7th place is probably close to $9,000, $10,000 difference. So it's definitely sitting back there,
Get your attention.
making us try a little harder.
What about that extra competition, so to speak, the bonus competition over. Then you got the week-to-week competition. All of that stuff, tend to make you better, make you concentrate a little harder to say, no, wait a minute, maybe I'm out of this tournament, but I got to think about where I'm going to finish.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if if you're out there and you know that you can contend and you find yourself not contending on the third or the last day, you can't just try to walk it in.
Right.
Because of the points game. So I think it's up the level of the golf. Definitely, the guys are, they're pretty focused on keeping their eye on their positions right now, coming down the last few tournaments, and I think they're definitely grinding out every last hole.
You like that idea of that extra competition? The fact that year-long thing has been in there, has that sort of kept your attention, kept you in the game, and probably you could speak for the other guys as well?
Yeah, I think so. For me, being so far away from home, I'm pretty much out here to play golf every week. So, it's not like I can just go home for a week or so. And so, I'm committed to play the whole tour, and I think I've played every tournament this year. So, and it does, your consistency is definitely going to pay off at the end of the year with the points race. And it keeps the players coming back to the tour, and it's definitely, like I said, it ups the level of play.
Talk about that fact, about upping the level of play. You played out here a little bit in past years. This year you committed to it.
Yeah.
Do you see any difference between when you picked a couple of events back a couple of years ago and now?
Yeah, the fields are definitely deeper as far as guys that can really play every week and shoot a lot of low numbers. Back when I played, there was maybe 15 guys that you saw the same 15 names, pretty much every week. But I think now you got 40, 50 guys that can win each tournament, maybe even more than that.
And for you to be in that top 10, is that about where you project yourself right now? I think in almost every respect, I think if you talk to who are the best 10 players out here, you're one of those. Is that how you sort of project yourself, Dean, as saying, I know there's some great talent out here, but I know I'm part of that?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to finish in the top 10. That was one of my goals. Like I said, I wasn't playing too good when I started out, and my game's been getting better, and I'm happy to see that. And I'm glad to see that I'm in the top 10. And that's where I think I should be, and with years to come, and I expect to improve a little bit.
In talking about the points race, in talking about coming out here and being aware and everything, look at Jack and Mike, two guys that have Arkansas roots like you do at the university there and all that. Is it hard to imagine how you maintain a friendship when
Yeah.
it might not bother Mike if Jack missed the cut.
No.
Jack didn't seem to cry a lot when Mike missed the cut the other day.
No, it comes down to, the guys are friends off the course, and they're not going to root against each other at all. But, those guys are playing for a $75,000 difference. And there's not going to be too many hard feelings when, whoever misses a cut or comes down to winning. I'm sure whoever wins it will be congratulated by the other guy, and they'll remain friends after that.
What for you is the best case scenario? Here we're set right at Gainesville. I know winning a tournament, winning here, winning at Atlanta the last one of the year, sort of draw a picture for me and for Dean Pappas. The rest of the year, what constitutes for you a perfect season now?
Well, I obviously would like to win one of the last two events. That would maybe clinch the third spot for me in the points race, and also that 15,000 would go a long way for me in the points race and in the victory. And but anyway, I just want to play solid the next 2 weeks and try to clinch that third spot. And I like to try and let stuff take care of itself. I like to just do my work, and whatever comes by comes by.
Do you have a certain strategy